Bahr El Ghazal and Upper Nile elders pay allegiance to President Kiir. SPLA Chief of General Staff urges the army to uphold the national duty and refrain from politics. A commercial plane carrying 8 crew crashes at Juba International Airport. Hello and welcome to South Sudan Television, coming to you live from the national capital, Juba, with the latest news from around the country. My name is Garang John. Elders from Bahr El Ghazal and Upper Nile regions have expressed their full support to the President of the Republic, General Salva Kiir, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the SPLA. The representative of the communities said this stand in a meeting with the President of the Republic in Juba today. The elders appealed to the President to provide maximum protection to the civilians in the country. Rejoice to Samson has more on the story.
The President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the SPLA met in his office with elders from Greater Bahr El Ghazal and Greater Upper Nile, headed by the SPLM Secretary for Popular and Syndicated Organizations, Martin Majut. The elders expressed their full support to the President and appealed to the President to safeguard lives of the citizens of South Sudan following the failed coup attempt led by the former Vice President Dr. Riek Machar, which they termed as an abuse on democracy, leading the people of South Sudan to bloodshed as he did in 1991. In a statement after the meeting, Majud said two communities of Greater Upper Nile and Greater Bahr El Ghazal are going to join hands with their colleagues in Greater Equatoria to mobilize people for peace and dialogue and enlighten the public that what happened is not war between Dinka and Nuer, but an attempted coup. The act is condemned in strongest terms by the democratic governments regionally and internationally.
Thank you very much. We just finished a meeting with the President and Chairman of the SPLM on the current situation in the country. We have assured him of our support as communities of Greater Bahr El Ghazal and Greater Upper Nile. We have pledged also that although Dr. Riek has decided to abuse democracy and to lead our people again for the second time to war, as that of 1991, we appeal to the President and the government to safeguard the lives of every South Sudanese in Juba. That there must be peace, there must be reconciliation, and we as communities, we are going to go out to meet different communities from Equatoria to Greater Upper Nile. We shall be calling elders, talk to them, so that we go out to talk to our people for peace and dialogue. All that happens, and whatever steps are going on, will be handled by the government. But we as communities, we are concerned about the lives of our people, and I would like at this juncture to appeal to all the communities in Juba, and especially our Nuer brothers, that this is not a war between the Dinka and the Nuer. Because if you see the composition of those who are arrested, there are Dinkas there. The only state that has not participated in this coup or in this failed or attempted coup is Western Bahr El Ghazal. Otherwise, all the states have participated. So you don't take it from a political point of view to a tribal kind of thing. We do not want to be branded as a tribal country. This is not a tribal country. It is a country that we fought for. It is peace that we won, all of us. It is the independence of this country that all of us achieved. So we should not accept to be branded as tribes. We are not tribes. We are an independent state, a country that we fought, all of us. So we must fight against the notion of people trying to brand us as tribalists and people trying to leave the coup, which is an attempted coup, to be a tribal thing. And I am surprised, and we are surprised, that all the coups in the world are being condemned by democratic governments. But this particular coup is not being condemned by the democratic governments, which means that there is something fishy about it.
General Salva Kiir was briefed by the caretaker governor of Lakes State, Matur Chut, on the general security situation in Lakes State, which he described as normal.
المؤتمر بعد مؤتمر يواصل الحوادث وقاعدين نشرف على مشاكل الأمنية في ولاية. وضع في جوبا بقى هادي عشان في طريقين ماشي في ولاية. برضو عشان نمشي نتكلم مع كل مواطنين ونعقد لهم. الأصل في جوبا ما عنده علاقة بين قبيلتين نوير ودينغا زي ما الناس ثانيين كتير بيتكلموا. ده مشكلة بتاع الناس اللي كان دارين سلطة. ده انقلاب، فانقلاب الفاشل. نحن بنقول على المستوى بتاع الجنوب عشان نحن ما نرجع لفتن مشاكل قبلية. كلام بالشكل ده نحن ما دارين، خاصة في ولاية الباحرات نحن ما دارين كلام ده يحصل. وبقية ولايات برضو بتاع جنوب السودان نحن عايزين يكون في استقرار بالنسبة للقوات بتاعنا، بالنسبة للمواطنين بتاعنا. انت لو تاجر ولا انت عسكري، اي محل انت قاعد فوق اسد ده بلدك، وانت لازم تستقر وتقعد كمواطن بتاع بلد ده. انت كعسكري تقعد كعسكري، لازم تدافع على السيادة بتاع البلد ده. عشان كده نفس التوجيهات بتاع الرئيس انا راح نمشي نطبقه فورا. مجرد وصولي لولاية ما راح يكون في يعني زازة الأمنية بالنسبة لولاية.
President Kiir also met with the church leaders headed by the Archbishop of the Catholic Archdiocese of Juba, His Grace Paulina Lukudulu, Daniel Dengbul, the Archbishop of the Episcopal Church of Sudan and South Sudan. They handed over to the President a written message on peace and reconciliation on the failed coup attempt which took place in Juba during the last days. In the message, the church leaders expressed their deep concern about the consequences, pointing out that political problems with the SPLM should not be turned into an ethnic problem. They called on the government to defuse it urgently before it spreads. Church leaders offered themselves to mediate for reconciliation, urging non-governmental organizations and humanitarian agencies to provide assistance to the displaced population.
The Vice President of the Republic, James Wani Iga, who is the Deputy Chairman of the SPLM, has reiterated government commitment for peaceful dialogue with the group that has resorted to military action and rebellion in the country. Iga, who made the remark in a media briefing in Juba, cautioned residents of Juba against robbery and looting of property in the city. He also appealed to some locals who had gone to seek refuge in the UN compound to return to their respective houses, pledging government support to maintain security in the region.
Dialogue with Yao Yao or even with Dr. Riak and his team. Our people in Pibor have been deprived of food and services since Yao Yao rebellion began. They need food, they need medicines, they need education, they need water, and other basic needs. For any of this to happen, peace must prevail. Tranquility must be cemented. Point number 8, all organized forces must adhere to all human rights rules and norms. Maybe as we talk now, except for a few pockets elsewhere, especially in Bo, the situation is back to normal. 3 days ago, treat all citizens and foreigners alike humanely and with maximum respect. This is very important. Number 3, since Juba has returned to normal, to calm, citizens who might have left their houses and gone to UN compound should return to their houses or homes. The government will do its utmost best to provide maximum protection, and so that we can supply them with their needs. Number 4, people of goodwill are here asked to give food and water assistance to all displaced people or wounded people. Because there are always good people and bad people in every community. But once you are wounded or displaced, whether you are among the good or the bad, please assist them. Number 5, anybody found looting properties of others or carrying out any highway robbery or violence shall be treated as a criminal.
In a move to find an amicable solution to the ongoing crisis in the country, a delegation from IGAD is in South Sudan to find out the root cause of the recent coup attempt that has sparked fears and violence in Juba City. The delegation from the regional body comprising of ministers of foreign affairs from IGAD members nation headed by the foreign minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Tedros Adhanom, is expected to meet the top leadership in Juba tomorrow. Speaking to South Sudan television upon arrival at Juba International Airport, the head of the delegation raised IGAD concern over the crisis in the country, urging the international community to back the bid to restore calm in the new nation.
Are very concerned by the situation. And as you can see, the turnout is 100%. All ministers of IGAD countries, 7 were here. And I'm really glad that all IGAD countries have taken this seriously, and they have, decided to join and, come in person to South Sudan. And the reason is to find out, the first hand of the situation here, and to help in any way possible, South Sudan in resolving this issue amicably. Because this problem is not just a problem for South Sudan alone, but it can be a problem for our region. So that's why we have to be with you during your difficult times also, because we're the closest. So that's why we wanted to come here and see the situation firsthand and help in any way possible, to find amicable.
The National Legislative Business Committee, in its sitting chaired by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Mark Nyipoch, has come up with next week's agenda for the Parliament. The meeting agreed to allow the ordinary parliamentary session to discuss ways to manage the current political situation in the country following the political row that has sparked violence in Juba. The Business Committee also called on the local population in Juba and the country at large to refrain from rumors and instead remain calm as the government undertakes necessary measures to address the political crisis. Concern for Women and Children Organization for the First Lady, Mama Ayen Mayadit, today offered over 500 bags of maize flour, sugar and rice to Juba Teaching Hospital, El Sabah and military hospitals respectively. According to the chairperson for the charity organization, the donation is a support to the victims of Sunday coup attempt in Juba.
The vulnerables, the women and the children and the wounded heroes in the hospitals. These relief items were meant to be distributed to the flood affected areas in South Sudan. But due to the emergency that is happening now in South Sudan, she thought that it's very, very important that the emergency now is facing us is very difficult and needs contribution of everybody. And she's also appealing to well-wishers and those who are able to assist those who are vulnerable, who are now in the hospitals, either the children, the women, the wounded soldiers, the wounded soldiers.
Since last Sunday, so she thought it wise to bring these items to the hospital. And she has dedicated us to come to the hospital to deliver these food items. These food items included sugar, rice, and flour. And on behalf of the President of the Republic of South Sudan, through our organization Concern for Women and Children, we are very happy that we got the Undersecretary of his colleague, the doctors, have been working that tirelessly since this incident happened in our country, and they have been providing all the necessary help at their capacity, and the rest we need to God.
We apologize for the poor quality of that video. The SPLA Chief of General Staff, General James Hothmai, ordered the SPLA forces to report to their respective units and register with their commanders as soon as possible. The Army Chief of General Staff also warned that those who will not comply with the order will be dealt with according to the SPLA rules and regulations. The order came following the failed coup attempt alleged to have been masterminded by a group of politicians and army officers under their command. General Hoth further appealed to the two ethnic groups, the Dinka and the Nuer, to distance themselves from the politicians who he accused of causing chaos in the country.
بأن ما جرى 15 ل 16 كان انقلاب صراع سياسي بين السياسيين، زي ما أنا قلت من عدة مرات في الإشارات اللي كتبنا لكم في أول يوم نحن جيش شعبي جيش قومي جيش وطني، نحن ما بننتمي لقبيلة ولا لبارتي، نحن جيش وطني. نحن لسه بناشدكم إنه بنقدر الحماية بتاعه في اليد بتاعه. ما جرى في جوبا هنا في الأيامات الفات إنه بيكون في عناصر ما يقدر فوق أجندة بتاعهم الخاصة قتلوا ناس. الثمن بتاع موت بتاع الناس بتاعنا ده لسه صار ما حاجة يعني، لأنه لو الاثنين قبيلة الدين كما نوير صادمة نحن ما عندنا دولة اسمها جنوب. دولة جنوب ده دولة قتل ناس جبناه بدم بتاع شهداء بتاع أولياء وبنات بتاعنا. ما بيجي هنا نفرشوا عشان كلهم سياسيين. الثمن بتاع الناس بتاعنا هنا فقدناه إنه لا يكون في بيس، يكون في سلام، والناس يقدر إنه يعني يكسر في قلوبهم، والناس يرجعوا يسووا لنا أخوان ما في. نحن عملنا إجراءات صارمة، وعايز أقول القوات الشعب رجال الشعب الموجودين في جوبا هنا بوليس بسجون بواي لايف ناس كده زول بلد نفسه لوحده بتاعه. نحن هنعمل إجراءات ضد العسكري بنقول إنه ما سلم نفسه لوحده بتاعه هنا في جوبا هنا وفي أي مكان ثاني. نحن بنعمل إجراءات صارمة، ونحن ماشيين نفتش الناس اللي شاركوا في قتل بتاع المواطنين بتاعنا في الشارع بقتل بتاع المواطنين بتاعنا في مدينة جوبا. احنا هنفتشهم ونحن بنقدمهم للمحكمة كلهم. المسك بتاعي لأهل بتاعي كلهم بينكم من وين انتم اخوان انتم عايزين نفسكم يعني بلد ما بلد بيكون بتاعنا ولا بتاعنا ولا بدون اخوة. نحن بناشدهم الناس يقدروا يصبروا.
As we go for a short break, let's listen to a member of parliament preaching peace to members of the Dinka and the Nuer ethnic group of South Sudan following the coup attempt last Sunday.
South Sudan has got 64 ethnic group. It cannot be mastered by only two, rivaling from now and then. What had happened, it has nothing to do with Nuer, and it has nothing to do with Dinka. Our group of people who have identified themselves to overthrow an elected president. We have elected Salva Kiir 2010 with 98%, and the term is yet to finish. So I don't see any cause. But it is because one man has masterminded. Whenever 8 years come, he must cause a problem to kill people. He was under John Garang. He worked with John Garang for 8 years. After 8 years, he made a coup of 91. It was me, the person who is talking, who reconciled him with John Garang in 2002. Because South Sudan is bigger than the individual. Our unity was paramount for us to get this independent. Now, imagine, after the death of Dr. John, he was made deputy to Salva Kiir. He worked for 8 years, and now he wanted again to take power by coup. And he has been advocating himself as architect of a democracy in South Sudan. And now he's avoiding democracy. Are we people voting for voting now? Election is not yet come. Why do you cause havoc? I want to say, you, my people, Nuer, listen very carefully. It is not Riek Machar who is a man. It's not Riek Machar who is the only leader of Nuer. And I know many of you has been misguided that there is a problem between Dinka and the Nuer. This republic does not belong to you. You Dinka and the Nuer, or you Nuer and the Dinka. It belongs to all of us. Anybody who have violated the supreme law of this country must be dealt with. We are not going to entertain anybody who is inciting tribalism in this country, because there is no tribe that owns a country. This country belongs to all of us. So I want to
بلد عظيم بلد أخضر جنوب سودان شعب كريم أرض مسلم جنوب سودان بلد عظيم بلد أخضر جنوب سودان شعب كريم أرض مسلم.
That was Honorable James Cook, a legislator in the National Parliament. SPLA spokesperson Colonel Philip Aguirre has dispelled allegations that Major General Marial Chanuong was killed in the Sunday failed coup attempt. Colonel Aguirre described the claim as false, assuring the local population that Major General Marial Chanuong is safe and currently discharging his duties in the army.
Is here trying to inform the public so that they do not listen to rumors. One of the lies that was spread after the fighting on the night of Sunday was that Major General Marial Chanuong, the commander of the Presidential Guard, was rumored to have been killed. This is a lie. General Marial is alive, and he will appear in the TV anytime from now for his friends, his relatives, for the members of the SPLA in general to be assured that he is alive. That is one. Secondly, we assure the public that the forces, national security forces, including the SPLA and the police of South Sudan, have established a firm control of Juba town, and life is returning to normal. We warn against all the thugs and the thieves that have exploited the situation to mistreat and loot properties of civilians. The SPLA is taking firm and tough measures to arrest whoever will be found to have violated the rights of civilians, whoever have been trying to deviate from the line of the army. The SPLA is a national army, is a non-partisan army. We don't belong to any group. We are a national army, and we must behave nationally. We protect all the ethnicities, the territorial integrity of South Sudan, and anybody that violates the rules and regulations of the army will be arrested and taken to court. I repeat again, let each, whether you are an officer or a soldier, respect the Constitution of the Republic of South Sudan and respect the laws and the rule of conduct of the army. Whoever will be found later on to have committed any crime, I repeat, will be arrested and will face the law. Juba is quiet. The SPLA and the other forces, security forces, are in charge of protecting all the foreigners, all the citizens of Juba, regardless of their tribes or ethnicities. There are thugs and hooligans that have taken the chance and trying to intimidate other people. This is completely against the laws, and the army is doing its best.
A commercial plane carrying 8 crew crashed at Juba International Airport Thursday afternoon. None of the passengers was injured in the plane, identified to be owned by Nova Company, a Sudanese owned.
On board crashed this afternoon at Juba International Airport while landing. The plane that is said to have been hired by Ugandan Airways from Sudan-based airline company was to ferry passengers on Uganda Airways ticket to Entebbe. Upon its arrival today from Khartoum, this plane is said to have managed to take the first route to Entebbe. On its return for the second shift is when the nozzle tire were forced inside by the weight of the front part as it was landing, explains Engineer Kur, the manager of Juba International Airport.
So it was chartered by Uganda Air, and then he took the first flight to Entebbe. But when we were returning around 12:45, on the tie downs, I don't know whether it is a pilot error or is it who? It's not known. Maybe it was a pressure because the pilot might have just learned and the pressure. So the nose wheel intact inside, and then the plane landed. As you have seen, it's being lifted up. And the plane was empty. There were nobody in, only crews. There were 2 pilots and other 6 crews in the plane. Total of 8, and there were no passengers. Actually, it was coming to come and take another flight to Entebbe. So that is when this accident happened. That is why it's here now. So the rest of the plane now, we divert them to Ethiopia, and even one of Kenya is already hold it in Kenya, and one of Uganda is hold it. And we are lifting it now to other places, and the airport will still continue operational.
Yes, the aircraft, you are seeing there behind me. Actually, the operator is Nova Airways. The registration of the aircraft is Sierra Tango, November, Victor Golf. It's Sudanese administration mark, particularly translated, and the Vietnamese are trying their best, at least to put it to be told. It has a great effect. It has actually halted, stopped the traffic at Juba International Airport, because as you are seeing now, there are so many aircraft and others are also being circling around. So yes, it has a great effect. That's why the traffic is not operational.
The administration of Juba Airport, accompanied by the Deputy Minister in the Ministry of Transport, Roads and Bridges, Simon Mijok, said the accident should not be misunderstood as a military act, but a usual accident that could occur in any airport across the world.
There should be no speculation from the public, because as in this difficult situation we're in as a country, some others would want to make a propaganda that this aircraft was shut down. There's nothing like that, as you can see. All the arrangements were made, and you can see the fire brigade was in less than a minute during the crash, and there's no fire caught in anything else. So this is what happened exactly about 11:45 this morning. The country must be assured we have been working around the clock to remove it, and the next few minutes, or like 1 hour, all the international flights will resume from Addis and Nairobi and Entebbe to continue their normal duties.
Yes, I learned that that the plane was shot. Public will see. Is it shot? If it is shot, it could not got banned. You see the plane now is very clean. There is nothing of that one. But I know there are other people who want to explore this situation of this small fighting happened in Juba. So if there is something happened very small like this, they just took it as something for just a provocation of the situation. Public will see directly. There is nothing that they could not, everybody could not listen to information, but they let them see by their own eye. Is it shot? If it is shot, it should have been. And we are moving it out now. As soon as after 30 minutes now, if we finish, the plane will start landing normally. But it's small aircraft now, they are landing. There is nothing of that kind. Have been receiving a lot of call regarding that, but I'm telling them, no, it is just a minor thing usually happen in the airport. Yeah, many times.
It's unfortunate that this plane got this accident at this wrong time of the week, where more incidents are happening in Juba. But to rubbish all the allegations that may uprise from this incident too, is that the plane was not shot down. It crash landed. The fault that they are soon to establish by the investigators who are well experienced in aviation to investigate on this scenario.